Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the South Jersey Field of Dreams Faces for Autism dinner. I'm Jacob Hackett. Keep raising your money, keep donating, keep dropping in the prizes that you wish. As we prepare to close out tonight's program, thank you to the parents of both organizations who have attended, given their time with me since just after Christmas to interview, to share their stories on why these organizations are so special to them and so many of us. My next guest tonight she works in the Rutgers Cooperative Extension Office. She works wholeheartedly with the ADA side of it. And she's here to share her experiences working with faces as she has for many years. Please welcome parent and advocate Belinda Chester. Belinda, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's nice to have you back because you joined us at telethon a few years back. So Belinda, my first question, tell us about how you heard about, since you've come from both organizations, both.
Okay, so when my kids were both diagnosed, actually at the same time, I have two kids who are on the spectrum, and they were both diagnosed around the same time, within a couple of months of each other. And at the time, one was 2 years old and one was 3 years old. And when you first get that diagnosis, it can be a little overwhelming, and you just kind of start looking for anywhere that you can get information and anywhere that you can, kind of plug in with people who might be able to help. And the first place I heard about Field of Dreams was actually with Alex's speech therapist, Heidi Hackett. And, she told us about it, and we started looking into it. And I think that was when we were going to BACRAC. We were going to, OT and speech and physical therapy there. And I think that's where we initially heard about Faces for Autism as well. And we looked them up, and Faces became like something that, I looked up and I was like, oh my gosh, like this, it was such a wealth of information. There's the regular page, and then there's the parent support page. And it really became a group that I could connect into. And, sometimes you're just looking for your people. People that understand where you're at and what you're going through, and people that you can ask questions. And they're not just going out into the cosmos, they're going to people who are there, or they've been there, and they can answer those questions for you, or give you suggestions, or sometimes just be the person that, virtually pats you on the back and says, I get it. I know where you're at. That it can be a positive thing. It can be the people who just acknowledge they understand where you're at. Field of Dreams was a place where we could take our kids, and we're big baseball people in our house. We love everything baseball. We like two teams, and this will make some people hate me. And some people will be okay. We're big Yankees fans, but I am from the Houston area originally, so I'm also an Astros fan. Got to root for the home team. That's the way it is. But we're very big on baseball, and we always have been. And we really wanted our kids to play baseball because that's just, a part of us. And this gave us a place that our kids could go, and we don't have to worry about, there's no judgment. Your kid may be having a great day, your kid may be having a so-so day, or they may be having a terrible day. And some days my kid's the one that's under the bench. He's not even sitting on the bench, but he's under the bench, and he's watching, and he's still with the other kids, and he wants to be a part of it. He has to be a part of it. But it gives us that non-judgmental place that they can be with people who, they can play baseball, and they can, feel like they're part of a team and part of a group. And it's such a positive place for them. It's a place where, they meet lots of new people and they get that opportunity to interact without feeling like they don't belong. And it's unfortunate, but sometimes in regular baseball, there's not always that opportunity to feel like you really belong as part of a team. And and since we became a part, we've done other events. We've done the fishing event, and we've done lots of other stuff, parties, and we've done fundraisers where we raise money for Field of Dreams. And each time my kids have really, they've had experiences they wouldn't have had otherwise. And they've really had that opportunity to connect and be a part of a group and have people who are excited to see them and excited to work with them. So same thing with the Faces events. You go and it's fun. It's fun to be with lots of people that parents can connect with other parents and kids can connect with other kids, and they get to just be happy and dancing and whatever's going on. So both events kind of have those same traits, and they've really been an opportunity for us to connect with parents, connect with other kids, and find families in our area that are really just genuine, wonderful people, and always wanting to help each other. I think that's been the biggest part, is that, everyone wants to help everyone else. And it gave me an opportunity also to say, hey, when I was there, when my kids were 3, these were the things that I would have liked to know. And I want to share them with you because it feels overwhelming right now. But you're going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, because Belinda, so many parents, and I'm sure you were the same way. My mom was the same way many, many years ago. But I'm scared to put them out there. I'm scared to send them there. I don't know what's expected. And I've heard from many people tonight that the Field of Dreams and Faces, they just bring that act of that nature of calm.
Yes, it's a calmness, and it's a Isabel has a group called On the Bright Side. It really is like that moment of being able to find those bright moments and even just help each other to find those bright moments. And, I think calmness is a really good way to explain it in so many ways, whether it's finding your own calm and just talking about self-care as caregivers, because we forget about that. We forget about the self-care part of it as well, because we're so focused on our family members, but it really gives us that opportunity to connect to people that understand. And as a parent, when you're going to these events, it gives you a calmness that you don't really even feel when you go to the grocery store. And I think a lot of parents in our position will understand that, even the grocery store can be a stressful experience because, a lot of times you feel judged because, you may be having a great day or you may be having a not so great day. And in those not so great days, even the smallest trips can feel overwhelming. And these are always events where for both Field of Dreams and Faces, you go to these events and you feel a sense of it's okay if we're having a bad time. It's okay if we need to sit over to the side for a minute, or we need to we need a calm down moment, or it's just such a non-judgment zone. And like you said, it's a calm place. It's just a fun, calm place where no one's looking at you and going, oh my God.
Oh my God, what do I do now?
Right.
No. And a lot of the parents have said to me, tonight and in the past, they need that because they need to sit on the sidelines and go, look, my kid's just being like any other kid.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Do you, working with both organizations, do you have one particular memory that stands out?
Oh gosh, there's so many memories, but so I'll just go with a more recent one. It's February, so we'll go with probably one of the most recent events that we've been to, and that was in the oh gosh, there's so many from the last year, Jacob. It's here, this is hard. I'm gonna pick one from each organization. So from Faces for Autism, there's always a big Halloween party. And Halloween can be kind of an overwhelming time period for kids sometimes because between the costumes and the loudness of parties and everything, it can be stressful for kids, it can be stressful for parents, it can be stressful for adults on the spectrum or whatever. And so Faces has these wonderful little Halloween parties where there's so much going on, but there are moments. So, back in October, we had the Halloween party where one of my kids was having the greatest time dancing around and finding different things to do. And one of my kids, so there's so many opportunities there of different things. One of my kids was perfectly happy sitting over at the table coloring. That was the place where he found his calm, and he could, this was a fun event. He did, the dancing was overwhelming to him, but there was this other option over here where he could sit and color and still kind of interact with other people, but it was more of a calm place. So that's the thing about, some of those events. So Faces has this big event where you have the dance party, but you've also got these other options that are maybe more calm options or more hands-on options, that really kind of addresses the needs of lots of different people. And they often connect with 21 Down, which is wonderful because then it's like a bigger group, and it's just lots of people, and they're just fun events. They're fun, and they you get to connect with so many different people there, both parents, kids, adults, teenagers. So we love those. We love those kind of events. We have those throughout the year. The picnics also, same thing. It's really a fun time when we have the spring or summer picnics. With Field of Dreams, we did something different last year. We got to do the fishing trip, and my kids had never been fishing before. And I come from a fisherman family. My family, very, very big fishermen. And we just never really had the opportunity to take my kids fishing, and especially not fishing out, ocean fishing. It was bay, but still. And my oldest, Jacob, he caught the first fish, and that was his first fish, but also the first fish caught on the boat. Such an amazing thing. And it was just such a wonderful group of people. We had such a great time. And it was so amazing to see their faces just light up with like, oh my gosh, we caught a fish. And we caught some other things too that were not fish. And we got, like, someone caught a shark. I think we caught a couple of sharks, and the kids were just fascinating. And I got to see my youngest, Alex. I expected him to back off and be kind of scared of that, but instead he saw the shark and he was so excited to touch it. And the people, that they actually let him sit in the captain's seat and drive the boat. He wasn't actually driving, we were sitting there, but he was so excited to get to do that. And it was a neat experience. It really was, and so fun, and just their faces just lit up with that. So there's kind of a one from each from the last year.
There you go. And that's a fun event because I played the music for that event, the Halloween party.
Right.
And that's a multi-generational, you do the regular, the Addams Family, the Monster Mash, but then you can branch out into the cha-cha slide, the electric slide,
and the parents get to just be goofy and fun too, and we don't get that often.
because
Right.
Because not many people have that. Because that's another thing too. You're working around the clock. You don't have a break.
Right. And that's kind of a fun break for everyone, right? Like the kids were dancing, the parents were dancing. It was just a fun break for everybody.
Yeah, and it's something you definitely need. My last question to you today, if you could encourage anyone as to why they should volunteer for these organizations, what would you say?
Um, I would say I'm going to go back to what I said in the beginning a little bit, and that is, I think especially after, in the beginning, I would say don't look to volunteer. When your kid first gets a diagnosis, don't look to volunteer. Look to find the people who can help you find your people, find your group, look to those people for help more than anything, because that's where I'm at this point. I'm at the point where I want to help people through those early periods, the periods where you're still looking for the services and you don't even know what's out there. I think that's really the great part later on is I would encourage you to find the group, to find the services first and look for the people who've been there. And then later on, when when you found your footing, then see where you can plug in and help the next group of parents coming up, the next group of parents that need that help finding the services, um, and navigating not just the services, but the emotional part of it as well. The part of it when and I feel like that stage changes as you go along in your journey, and at each one of those stages there's opportunity for you, while you're still looking to one stage for help, for you to be the help for the person in the stage that's right below you. I hope that makes sense, but like right now we're at the stage where soon we'll be looking at, middle school, going out of elementary and going into middle school, and how does that look different? And so we'll be looking to connect with a different group of parents, while at the same time as a volunteer, I can help those elementary age parents looking for services. And then, beyond, once you get to high school age, help those middle school parents as you can, but I think that's the wonderful part, is that you can kind of be that at each stage. And at each stage, you have the opportunity to make change too. You can see what was helpful to you and what might be helpful to parents as they're coming up, from beginning to wherever you are at that point. And I see so many parents who do that. I think that's the thing, is that, when you're in it, you realize the things that would have been helpful to you, and you want to share that. You want to go to those parents and say, oh my gosh, I wish people had told me this, because it would have been so helpful. Or, early on I found this and I want to share that with you, because I know that even though right now you may not feel like this will be helpful, connect now, and it'll, you will get value as you move along through that.
Right. And at the end of the day, Belinda, it's the game of life.
Right. Right. I like Field of Dreams. I think in the beginning it's kind of scary. But then, the great thing is that, some kids will find their confidence through Field of Dreams and maybe be able to move on to regular little league teams. And then some kids, that's always going to be that safe, wonderful spot for them all the way through adulthood. And I think that the great thing is that it becomes kind of like a family, and you help people through that. You find your space, and you kind of notice, you notice where people are, and you plug in where you can, and it's overwhelming. You've always got your own stuff going on too, but you want to help. You want to help as a parent, and you kind of notice other people and say, hey, I don't know if you know about this, but let me share with you some of the things that have helped me along the way.
Right. Yeah. Because we're all, at the end of the day, I've said this many times tonight, is that we're all here for each other.
Right. Right.
No
You
one
know,
is
I'm
alone.
always grateful for those people who shared it with me, like Heidi and therapists that shared things with me, Pam and Jessica and from Backrack. And you know, there were people who shared things with me. And I'm so grateful for that because it might have taken me a while to find it otherwise on my own, you know, because sometimes you don't even know what you're looking for. So, you know, I can look back on those parents who've helped me along the way to find things that I didn't know existed. And you're forever grateful for that.
Oh yeah, forever grateful. Uh, I hate to sound funny, but sounds a little cliche. It's like that song from you too. I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Right. And sometimes you don't even know what you're looking for, right?
You can be
I don't
looking
even
for
know yet what I'm looking for. But then when someone says it, you go, oh, wow, thanks. And then you know,
you,
again, you find that opportunity to connect in places that you didn't even know you needed to connect.
yeah, you don't even know where you need to connect. To friends, don't be afraid to draw the lines. Don't be afraid to draw those conclusions. Look, as I've said many, many times tonight, we're all here for each other. And as I said, and as Isabel said earlier, you know, our group is not just autism. It's called Faces for Autism, but she's worked with people that have Down syndrome,
Yes.
cerebral palsy, you know, hundreds of other uh, disease, well, not a disease, disabilities and
Right.
conditions that,
Or different abilities, you know.
thank you, different abilities. That's where I was going, but I got stuck. But, you know, we're all in this game together. And, you know, we I wouldn't do this telethon. Tonight would never go on if it weren't for the support from the parents.
Right.
See, your parents, Isabel, I, the board, both boards, we're just one piece of the puzzle.
And the more we connect, the bigger group we become, and the more inclusive I feel this world is going to become. You know,
Right,
the bigger you are and the louder your voice is to advocate for more inclusive environments, then you know, the closer we'll get to a world that really does include everyone.
right. And that's what you want. Inclusivity for all. Friends, continue to donate. Continue to donate to these wonderful causes, these wonderful organizations that have worked tirelessly over the last 2 decades. You know, as I said it before and I said it tonight, we can't do half of the things, we can't put on a 20th anniversary celebration solely off to the side of what the South Jersey Field of Dreams is doing. We can't do any of our activities throughout the year without you. So please donate. Please consider donating to tonight's program. There's a link to donate down the bottom of the screen. Thank you.